Beware, a storm is striking the US market. Alright folks, let's talk about the big red flag that billionaire investor Warren Buffett is waving about the US real estate market. He's highlighting a very critical issue, a staggering $1.4 trillion debt-laden wave that started to hit the real estate shores. But here's a reality check for you. What we're seeing now is just the start of it. The real deal, the full-scale impact of this real estate bubble, is lurking just around the corner, expected to unleash its fury in the coming months. So, what's Buffett's angle on this looming crisis? Take the US commercial property market like a Jenga tower wobbling on the edge. It's in a pretty shaky situation, with property values taking a dive and banks sweating over their risky bets. This whole scene is brewing up quite the storm, and the fallout could be huge. But here's what's really important. It's not just the big-time investors or property moguls who should be sweating. This situation could ripple out far and wide, affecting more than just the real estate big shots. We could all feel the impact, from small business owners to everyday folks. It's like dropping a stone in a pond. The ripples spread out and touch everything in their path. So it's crucial for everyone to keep an eye on this, because what happens in the commercial property market doesn't stay there. It has the potential to reach all of us one way or another. Think about the small business owners who depend on these properties, the local communities that are built around them, and yes, even the average person on the street. They all might feel the tremors. We're looking at a domino effect. If one piece falls, it could trigger a series of events that impact everyone. We need to understand this situation, go to the core of Buffett's worries, and what this change in the commercial property market could mean for the broader economy. From the bustling avenues of Main Street to the towering skyscrapers of Wall Street, nobody is in the clear. So, let's dive deep into this, dissect through the complexities, and see just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Alright, let's dive a bit deeper into this real estate scenario. For about 15 years now, the US real estate market has been dealing with a giant wave of cheap debt. Why? Because interest rates have been hanging around at nearly zero for a decade and a half now. This has been encouraging tons of borrowing, causing property values to touch the sky. Let's picture a typical scenario. Someone's eyeing a cool $1 million office building. But let's be real, who just has $1 million lying around? So, what will he do? He'll head over to the bank, put down a chunk of change as a down payment, and borrow the rest. This seems like a smooth move, but there's a catch. The success of this whole venture is pretty much at the mercy of the interest rate on that loan. Here's where the plot takes a turn. Commercial property loans aren't like your average home loans. They're more unpredictable, kind of like a financial roller coaster. Their interest rates don't stay put. They fluctuate, resetting every few years to match the current market rate. So, when these rates start to climb, it can mess up a lot of things. Imagine our office building investor. They're cruising along fine, but then, bam! The loan's interest rate skyrockets. Suddenly, those monthly repayments become a serious headache. If they're not prepared, they could find themselves in a tight spot, financially speaking. But this isn't just about one investor and one building. Oh no, it's a much bigger picture. This interest rate hike scenario plays out across the board, affecting the whole real estate market. Properties that were once profitable investments can quickly turn into financial burdens as rates rise. This creates a domino effect, impacting investors, lenders, and even the broader economy. Rising interest rates mean the rules of the game are changing, and everyone in the real estate world needs to be ready to adapt to it, fast. So, with interest rates on the upswing, we're witnessing a pivotal moment in the real estate market, one that could redefine strategies, reshape portfolios, and potentially redraw the landscape of property investing. Alright, let's really get into this office building situation. Picture this. You're comfortable with interest rates at 5%, and then bam, they jump to a whopping 9%. Suddenly, the cost of your loan is through the roof, and the rent you're getting from the building might not cut it anymore. But there's another twist. A lot of folks are working from home now, so they're not exactly queuing up for office space. This spells big trouble for property owners. They might have these solid buildings, but financially, they could be on really shaky ground. Warren Buffett's pointing out a serious issue here. The bricks and mortar stay put, but the folks who own them? They might just fall apart under all this financial strain. Alright, Let's break it down a bit more. When we talk about property owners feeling the heat, that's just the beginning. The real domino effect kicks in with the smaller, local banks. They're the ones usually backing up these commercial property loans, not the giant Wall Street banks. Imagine this. If these properties start tanking, it's these smaller banks that could be in for a rough ride, and the effects they could spread like wildfire. Think about it, small and medium-sized businesses, the ones that give our neighborhoods life and character, rely heavily on these banks for their financial needs. If these banks are struggling, it means tougher times for these businesses. We're talking about getting loans turning into a major hurdle, expansion plans getting shelved, or, in the worst-case scenario, having to shut down completely. This isn't just about a few properties or banks. It's about the health and vibrancy of our local communities. A hit to these small banks could send shockwaves that affect everyone from the local bakery to the corner store, reshaping the economic landscape of our towns and cities. Think of it like a chain of dominoes, each representing a different part of our economy. Now, imagine one domino fall, say a spike in interest rates or a slump in the real estate market. That one fall can trigger a cascade of events across the entire economic landscape. This scenario isn't just about a handful of properties or loans. It's about the overall health and stability of our entire economy. Everything is interconnected, so a shakeup in one sector can impact areas you wouldn't immediately think of. That's why it's so vital to understand the current dynamics in the real estate market. It's not just about houses and mortgages. It's about the foundation of our economic system. In today's interconnected world, a disturbance in one area can have far-reaching consequences, touching lives and livelihoods far beyond the real estate sector. Jobs, communities, and everyday lives, they all hang in the balance. That's why keeping a close eye on the real estate market is more than just about property. It's about safeguarding the stability and well-being of our broader society. Charlie Munger, known to be Buffett's right-hand man, has been pretty upfront about the rough ride ahead in the real estate market. He's sounding the alarm on what he describes as a major storm brewing, and it's not looking pretty. Now, the million-dollar question is, who's going to bear the hit when this storm hits full force? We're talking about potential casualties here. Will it be the banks weighed down by heaps of risky loans? Or the property owners who might watch their investments nosedive? But here's a thought. Maybe the impact will ripple out way further, shaking up the entire economy. It could affect everyone, from folks in bustling cities to those in quiet small towns. It's a scenario where no one's immune and the consequences could reach every corner of the market. Let's wait to find out who'll weather the storm and who might be left out in the rain. If you want to stay on top of this, don't forget to subscribe. We're here to sift through the complex world of investing, breaking it down with insights from the top guns like Buffett and Munger. Stick with us, and let's figure out how to weather this storm. There's a lot to unpack, and you won't want to miss what's coming up next. See you in the next video.